Hey guys, it's me, and I just got to read something to you. It's from this new book from the Navy SEAL that got Osama bin Laden. His name's Robert Oneill, and the book is called The Operator. You got to get it. He brings you right into the combat, and he really goes through how he became a Navy SEAL. So it's great for kids, well, young adults that want to become a Navy SEAL and go through all the training and stuff, and for older dudes like me that want to know what went on. And he brings you right in to the combat. So I got to read this one to you. Listen to this. So yeah, the bad guys were in a mosque, but they were shooting at us. This was early in the war, and the rules of engagement were flexible. If you're taking fire, you're taking fire. So permission to engage, engage. Fire that Gustav. He's talking about the 80 millimeter Gustav recoilless rifle. The big ranger loaded the son of a bitch up and launched one right into the mosque. We told him to hit it again. He reloaded and whoomp, another rocket goes to the meeting. The mosque was dead silent at this point, a black cloud drifting from the door. We were about to clear it when the little short dude said, "Can we fire one more? One less rocket to carry?" "Sure, why not?" So we launched one more. When we got in there, it looked like Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th had beaten us to it. Bodies flung everywhere, sliced and diced. It was pretty bad. But the thing that haunted me a little wasn't so much the gruesome sight. Rather, it was the sound. A sound like water pouring out of a spigot. It was blood flowing from a severed arm. When we got back to the base, we did a debrief. I told the story of Johnny's and my crossfire in the alley, and the sniper, Dirty, related how he'd engaged those guys from the rooftop. Then the bosses said, "Okay, what happened in the mosque?" I said, "Well, we cleared it with the Rangers. I'm going to let this Ranger debrief it." Most of the Rangers were young kids, and they never saw anything in briefings. Now I was putting the kid on the spot. He stood up and kept standing up until he reached his towering 6 foot 6 inches height. "Well," he said, "we made entry. The number one man was Carl Gustav." That was my first real gunfight. Now this is Robert Oneill speaking again. That was my first real gunfight, and we all learned a lot. Walk in, don't fly, because that's what stirs up the hornet's nest. Stay blacked out as you go in. Don't shine your white light. It could get you shot up. Maybe the most surprising thing I learned was, it's exciting. I'd been training for so long to get into fights, and now we were in it, and it wasn't as bad as I'd feared. I was able to keep my shit together and make decisions that improved my position. My buddies and I were almost overqualified to fight with these assholes. We were good at it. And I had my first kill. I don't want to compare it to my first buck, and yet there was some similarity. I'd envied the guys who'd already killed an enemy fighter and bragged about it. Now I was part of the club. I felt no remorse, zero. These guys would have sooner slit my throat than look at me. They lived a life dedicated to destroying Western culture and everything it stood for. They were part of a network whose biggest celebrations came when they managed to bring down a tourist hotel and kill men, women, and children who were doing nothing more threatening than trying to decide between the hot or cold buffet. They'd created a cult of death. Well, enjoy paradise, gentlemen. Isn't that cool? I'm not going to read all of it, probably get in trouble. But you need to get the book. The direct link is in the description of this video. This book is worth it for young and old. Well, not too young. He gets kind of explicit, not 5 to 9, 9 to 12. I'd say above 12, PG-13. And he takes you right into the war, right into the training, all the way to where he kills Osama bin Laden and comes back. And after the Navy, kind of a little sad, a little bitter, what happens after he kills Osama bin Laden. But I'll let that up to you to read the book. It is well worth it. It is my new favorite book. If you can have only one book about the Navy SEALs, it has to be this one. It's awesome. I read it in 2 sittings. I was going to read it straight through in 1 sitting, but I couldn't. You know, we had to do something. I get in trouble with my wife, so I had to do 2 sittings. You will be riveted by this book, man. It's awesome. Okay, I look forward to seeing you at the top.